If we're meant to be impressed by all this technology, it has the opposite effect.
It only makes you that much more dangerous.
Well, and there's evidence to support that, but I think what's important now is for all of us to stop arguing.
Does your team ever stop arguing?
Fair point.
I think what Martin is trying to say is we're going to help you, whether you like it or not. You're going after Krieger. We know where he's going next.
And given the laws of temporal mechanics, if you die, your grandson ceases to exist.
Well, I don't pretend to understand any of this time travel bunk, but these fellas do have a time ship. Might come in handy.
And having them as our backup might be the only way to keep them out of trouble.
Let's put it to a vote then. The ayes have it. Did your reconnaissance at the club yield any usable intel?
I'll need a map of the area.
Bringing one online now.
What was that?
AI, a talking computer.
What's a computer?
There, the Fontainebleau Forest. No, I saw a few of Krieger's men studying a map of it.
That must be where Krieger's planning on making the exchange. Nate overheard Krieger talking about making a trade for something called an Askaran amulet.
Hitler has long amassed ancient artifacts such as this one. He may want the amulet because it conveys some sort of occult power.
Our objective should be to take out the Baron and stop this exchange at all costs.
I propose we survey all military activity in the area to learn what we're up against.
We don't have time for that.
I concur. We should have both teams gear up while Dr. Stein and I finalize the details. Be ready to go at first light.
How are things with your grandfather?
You know, I think he's avoiding me for some reason.
Well, it's hard for people to look at their future.
Maybe. No. One of the Nazis at the club had a knife.
Well, that should have stopped bleeding by now.
I'm just gonna get a new bandage.
To go with your bruise?
Well, you know how fragile we historians can be.
This isn't fragility. I know my cuts and bruises. You're a hemophiliac. Your blood doesn't clot, wounds can't heal, and if it's bad, you can bleed to death.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that.
Too late. You could have died tonight.
But I didn't. In fact, it was the opposite. I never felt more alive. Look, when I was 5 years old, I cut my knee, and my mother wouldn't let me out of the house till I was 16. I'm a grown man. I can make my own decisions.
Not on the ship, you can't.
Sarah.
Look, I cannot let you go out there tomorrow knowing that you could get killed. I have enough deaths on my conscience as it is.
Look, I know you don't think I can add anything to this team, but out there is history, and nobody knows more about it than me.
Well, we've been managing just fine without you. Mostly fine.
Your suit looks a bit cumbersome.
Oh, actually, I made it to fit me perfectly. It's constructed out of a proprietary alloy, and it's been battle-tested quite a bit. I even wore it in space once. Personal highlight.
So your superpower is wearing the suit?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a little more complicated than that, but yeah. You're still mad at me for punching out that Nazi in the club, huh?
I'm mad because you blew my cover. I'll never be able to go undercover in Paris ever again.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't think about that.
I imagine that's a pattern with you and your group. But I can't dwell on it. Getting stuck on past mistakes only takes focus off the primary goal at hand.
Well, I gotta admit, watching your team work like a well-oiled machine kinda makes me feel like I'm doing this whole hero thing all wrong.
If it's any consolation, Dr. Palmer, you're not really a hero. We better get ready.